Hi everyone, welcome to It's Morgan's Life, where I talk about budgets, finance, and my personal lifestyle on how I'm able to stay debt-free and winning at 23 years old. On this channel, I talk about my finances. I share my tips and tricks on the things I do to help me stay debt-free and financially independent. I also give a little bit of my lifestyle. I thank you all for clicking, and I hope you can stick around. Hit that subscribe button, and I hope you will not be disappointed. Thank you. Okay, just to dive in, I want to give a little update. I couldn't upload last week because computer-wise, this stuff is not easy. Video wasn't working, so I had to scrap that old video and re-upload and redo something else. So to incorporate some of the tips that I had from some of the information I had from my last video to this video, I'm just gonna do an overview of my monthly plan for the month of March. And to start off, so I can get into it, is my goal for this month. One of my goals for this month is to save $1,300. My second goal is to lower my spending to $150 on my credit card, and also to deposit money into my other check accounts. Now, I also have some upcoming purchases that came through. Spend $150. I send $150 to my dad in Jamaica. I send every now and then. I send a couple dollars back home to my dad back home. Also, I have a phone bill and rent and my credit card bill of $160 that I have to pay off, around that. So that's my update, my monthly goal for this month. I'm giving you guys a quick rundown because this video might be long if I go in depth more. So I did an overall view of my paycheck, what I'm expecting for this month. And so far, this is the total that I'm expecting for this month. And for my savings goals for this month, I have it for $1,300 divided up in my emergency fund, TFSA, EQ Bank, and my PC account. That is what I have decided to put, how to separate that amount. Now, let's dive right into me budgeting the first paycheck of March. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to write down my income for March. So I was paid, my regular salaried amount is $1341.69. I'm an early childhood educator worker. I work at a daycare and I'm on a full-time basis there. Also, this paycheck I had overtime, so I was paid $57.40 overtime. So that total equals an amount of $1,399.09. That's the total for my first paycheck of March. That is my income from my first paycheck of March. Now, to break it down, I don't have a lot of bills this month to pay. I'm single, 23 years old. I don't have a lot of bills. So, and I try to minimize my bill amount as best as I can. So my first paycheck, I don't usually pay my rent out of it or take out any amount towards rent. This is where I do a lot of my savings from my first paycheck. So right away off the bat, I'm going to start off with my savings goals that I want removed from this paycheck. So to start off, the first thing I'm saving towards is my emergency fund. I'm building that up to have at least $10,000. A lot has been happening. For the past few days, we've have some life changes, and later on, maybe I'll discuss about it. Well, I'll definitely will share because it will mean a change in my budget. So I'm putting towards that, and that is my emergency fund. I'm calling my emergency fund because life is funny. You never know what can happen. So first, I'm going to remove $500. This is all towards savings. All the money that I'm about to talk about right now is all going towards my savings account. So I'm removing $500 and I'm putting it over to my EQ bank account. That is an online bank, and guys, it is, I compared the interest that I gain from saving inside it compared to my RBC, my regular banking interest, and I get way more interest on each deposit than I do in my regular bank. It is an online bank and it's not for everybody, but if you want to stash some cash and build some interest on it while you're stashing it, the best way to go right now for me, I find that EQ bank is running things. Okay, my next goal is to, usually it's automatic and it always comes out every bi-weekly paycheck, so it's $50. This is towards my TFSA. I put $50 bi-weekly, which adds up to $100 a month. So that's what goes every paycheck. My next goal is to move $100 over to my, now I did say, if you remembered on my monthly overview, that I wanted to put $100 in my PC, but I've changed my mind and realized that's not the best book for my money. That's not the best idea. So I've decided I have another account. I have a Tangerine banking account, and I'm gonna start depositing a little bit more into that account. So I will be moving $100 over to that account. That's my Tangerine bank. And then for my PC, I've decided to just only put $50 in it. And this is all savings. I'm not looking to spend none of this money at the current moment. So that brings me a total of up to $700 that I am saving from this paycheck. I am saving the $57.40 from my overtime. When I'm paid overtime, I try my best to put it away in savings. So that's a good thing. Like, if you're paid overtime more than you usually get paid, and it's once in a while, it's best to just move that money over a little bit and just keep going with your regular bills, and that slowly builds up your savings little by little, because that's halfway to $100 already. So I've decided to save my overtime amount that I received. So that brings it up to an actual $757.40 for my savings thus far. Now I'm going to attack the bills that I want to pay from these accounts. Now I only have, that is actually due, well, I thought it was on a bill that I had due until I got an email the other day. I actually have many bills that just popped up. You know, once in a while, these bills come along and they pop up. So I have a $160. So these are my debt that I owe. I'm going to write this as my debt that I owe, right? So I'm going to say this is, for my first debt that I owe is towards my job. So we pay yearly to this college. I don't know why I'm paying so much money for this. $160 I have to pay by April. I believe it's April 30th is the latest. So $160 by April 30th towards my college of ECE. That's what they call it, College of ECE. It's to put your name on a registry. I find it's just a waste of my money. That's one thing I don't want to spend my money on. My next debt is the amount that I owe for my President Choice MasterCard. I owe on that card a balance of $162.16. That is for my PC MasterCard. Furthermore, I consider it debt. I am sending my dad $150 to my dad. Any money that does not go to me is debt. That's how I consider that. So with my sister, we're sending $150 each, so that will be amount to $300, and we do that every once in a while just to help out back home. So that's the balance. That's what I'm sending this month. Furthermore, I did my taxes. I realize I am owing in debt to the government of Canada a balance. I'm estimating, I'm rounded up to $1,700. So I'm owing in excess of $1,700 in taxes owed to the government. Now, I haven't fully filed it. I just did I filed my own taxes. So I saw the number and your girl was in shock because $1,700 is a lot of money. Now, I did save for this last year. And the mistake I made along my way is I forgot to start putting back in. Like, I spent the money that I saved for it last year. When I started work, I was supposed to start putting back money back into the fund to pay this tax off, because I knew it was around that bracket that I was gonna have to pay back. So I had the money, but I spent it and it slipped my mind, and now I have to try to come up with that money in the next few weeks. And I'm hoping this does not throw me off my saving schedules. I'm hoping that work can give me a bonus or something. We usually throughout the year, we get like little extra payments. So I'm hoping this year, maybe we'll get a little extra payment. But I'm going to have to try to come up with $1,700 at the moment to pay back to the government of Canada in my taxes. So those are my debts. So that means, I'm not spending any money on my credit card. I will not be purchasing anything. I will use my points if I need to buy grocery. And that's why I'm going to try to put that money together, as I do not want to come off my saving track. I have a goal. I'm gunning for it. And this is not going to stop me. Now, let's count up how many that is for March. These are my total debt for March. Let's see. So I have 160. I got my calculator right here. So in total, this is amounting to $272.16. That is how much I have for March. Now, since that's my debt and I have put my savings away, I am going to see. I know I can pay off a few of these bills at the current moment. So after my subtracting my $700 from this $1,341, I have a balance left over of $641.69. Now, that's where I'm going to be working at right now. So right away off the bat, the first thing I'm paying for is my MasterCard PC, because that is something I never pay interest on my credit cards. I always pay it before the due date, so I don't get charged interest, and that's a good thing. That's how you build your credit score, guys. That's how you build your credit score. Pay the debt before the due date is, and pay in full. Obviously, pay in full. I have a trick. I will show you guys how I run credit card. I don't carry just a low balance. There's times I carry thousands of balance on my account, and I have that paid off before my due date. I have a system, and I'm going to show you how I do it. $479.53. That is the total. So this is for my PC. That's towards my PC. My PC is usually due by March 27th. So I know when that due date's right around. So I paid that from my first paycheck. It's already cleared already from my PC card. Now, the next thing is to send my dad the $150. So that is to my dad, which brings me down to $329.53. That's the balance. Now, I don't know if I want to pay my college membership thing right now for $160 or hold off. Actually, I think I'm going to lean into this being April. So I'm going to make this an April debt for myself. I'm going to make this an April debt because, whoopee, your girl is getting paid 3 times in April. So we can work with that in April. I could do it in March, but I do want to save a little bit more this month. So I'm going to be moving that one over to April. So in sense, I've paid off my PC card and sent money to my dad. Now that leaves a balance of $329.53. Usually from this paycheck, I take about maybe, I'm gonna round it up to 60, but it's usually $50 I take towards my my Presto card. So that's for travel. So that's minus in $269. I usually go above the minimum, so it gives me more leg room to work with and make up for any mistakes. So I give myself, sometimes I give myself, like, my total that I owe for the tax is not $1,700, but I give myself that leg room because you never know, it could be more than that or it could be less than that. So now that I'm left over the balance of $269.53, I'm gonna be doing another $100. The reason why I'm actually gunning for this is because I need to build this savings up as fast as I can in the next few months. Stick around and I'll tell you what that goal end is, because it is big. It is a life-changing decision, and I'm gunning to save as much as I can in the next few months. That's why I'm not trying to spend a lot. I'm not buying a lot as I usually do. And so I'm trying to save as much as I can. So that leaves me a balance of $169.53 left over. I'm leaving this $169.53 for legroom if I have to do laundry, might have to buy food, give myself a little bit of legroom. But I'm not really looking to spend all of it. I know I won't be spending all of it. And towards my bus fare if I do go over it, but I doubt I'll go over it between now and my next paycheck. So that is my overall budget for my first paycheck. I have a goal to save. Well, now with that extra $100, it would be $857 saved from my first paycheck. And then paying off my debt towards my PC card. I'm sending money back home to my dad this month of $150. It looks like so much, but it's not. And usually my first paycheck is a lot more busier than my second paycheck, because my second paycheck is very simple. I'll budget that one later on. So that is my savings goals for this paycheck, and all my debt covered for this paycheck. Now let me take you over to my saving tracker. Now this is a little thing that I printed off, the web, to help me have a overall look of my savings goal. I coded it emergency fund, have an end date of this year 2021, and I'm putting everything I can into this savings goal. Putting about $500 each paycheck towards this, which adds up to about $1,000 a month time. So being paid bi-weekly. So for this paycheck, March, oh, my pen is dying. March, I was paid on the 4th, so I deposited $500 into that account. I'm going to be coloring one of my lines. Each line is about $500, so it's very easy. So I'm just going to shade that in. And this is so nice to do because it's a nice colorful effect. And when I see something like this, it encouraged me to keep going. Like, I'm a little bit there, like little by little by little, I'm going to be there. So by my second paycheck, I should have $3,000 saved towards this goal. And guys, so I'm 30% there to my savings goal of set $10,000. Now this takes me to the end of my video. I didn't want it to be long. I was trying to put as much information I could get in because I couldn't put it into my last video. So that concludes this video for you guys. I hope to see you in my next video. Now please, if you enjoyed the video, give your girl a like, give a comment, introduce yourself, let's have a conversation in the chat, and please subscribe. Hit that red button right there. I am working to pump these videos out and show that support, show that like by clicking that subscribe button. Now thank you to all who've clicked this video and watched. I hope you have a blessed day.